Hey, what's going on? Uh, Bear with me for a second while I try to get into this page. Uh, for some reason, this thing is trying not to let me into this account. Okay. Uh, Doggone it. Let me look up this right quick. Bear with me right quick. Uh, let's see here. One. Anyway, um, here we go with this crazy old. Um, they got these. You know what? Doggone it! This thing is really ticking me off. Just keep putting all of these verification things in, and it's so goofy looking. Ah, let me skip this one. Anywho, I'm gonna try it from here. Hey, Carmen, what's happening? Is it cold? It is really cold. Yes, it is. Uh, Unfortunately, um, nothing I can do about it right now. I'm so ticked off. I tell you what, I'm mad about this doggone um, this football yesterday. That's what I'm really ticked off about right now. Now let's talk about that. There we go. This thing finally popped in. Doggone it. Um, I was trying to get into the page, and this thing is really getting on my nerves. It's throwing verification up after verification after verification after verification. So it's getting on my nerves pretty bad here. Uh, there we go. I'm in. Unfortunately, I cannot change the latency. I have to change that latency every time I log in. And now that I'm live, I can't change it. So everything's going to be a little slowed up. Anyway, uh, more so than the weather, God dog it, and this shirt looks wrinkled as hell. That's crazy. It's not actually wrinkled. I think it's the material. Anyway, um, right. Other than, hey, what's happening, Vanessa? How you doing? Uh, did the Bears lose? Yes, they did. They did definitely lose. Doggone it. Uh, and that's what I'm mad about more than anything else right now. That's what's on right now between the Bears losing and it turned back cold and it rained so bad. Hey, Charles, what's happening? It rained so bad yesterday, and um, the Bears played so bad, looking and coming across fine. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's what I needed to hear because there's a latency thing that I did not get to change. So let's see how it works. Anyway, um, yeah, you all may know that I already feel like the the NF the NFL Thanks. Appreciate that. I thought it did. For some reason, on this one monitor, it does. Uh, y'all know I think the NFL is rigged. If you don't know that, you do now. I think the NFL is rigged. I've thought that for some time. Um, so uh, watching the Bears play yesterday was such a disappointment. There's no way you can convince me that their defense played like that by accident. There's no way. I feel like that was just deliberately, they were deliberately playing lousy because there's no way San Francisco should have been that good or looked that good against the Bears. So my entire day was jacked up. The only thing that is good about yesterday is sometime back, I don't know if it's been a couple years ago, I had my basement um, uh, waterproofed, so to speak. And yesterday it was um, oh yeah, I just seen that Jaguars won. Yes, congratulations. Congratulations, y'all down in Florida. Jaguars are kicking ass. Absolutely. But I waterproofed my basement, and that doggone pump ran constantly yesterday. That pump ran so much yesterday that, all I could think was, man, oh boy, I'm glad I did that. But it rained so bad yesterday. Um, and then the Bears played like they didn't know what the hell they were doing on the field. And then today, um, uh-oh, I'm frozen. Huh. I wonder what happened. I'm frozen. Anyway, uh, yeah, San Francisco got a great team. They do. San Francisco has a wonderful team, but they should not have been beaten that bad. They should not have been beaten. They should not have been able to move the ball that easily. You know. Now, hey, I know that I know that y'all may not think it's rigged, but I got my reasons. I got my reasons for thinking it's rigged. I ain't kidding you. I got my reasons. Um, I just I see too much that does not look right when I'm watching um when I'm watching the NFL play. There's just there's two, and this is aside from the refs. Now the referees, we know referees make mistakes. I'm not even gonna count the referees and the bad calls. Some of the bad calls they made yesterday. Like there was one where they called a face mask call against the Bears, and the guy literally just swiped his hand across the guy's incidental touch across his face mask, and they called that a penalty. I get it. That may have been a mistake. Okay, it was a mistake, but the when your defense is playing terrible in the beginning of the game, if your defense is playing bad, you change something. You substitute players. You change it. You don't keep the same plays and the same people. You don't constantly just keep everything the same. You change something. And they changed nothing. They just kept they just kept the same people and playing the same way the entire game. That's what makes me feel like You know, there's something to it. Um, and hey, let's face it, it's very possible that I'm wrong. You know, I'm one of the wrongest people these days that I've ever seen. I've been wrong about so much shit lately that hey, I'll be the first to tell you how much shit I've been wrong about. So, what can I say? Um, but the way they were playing was just, it was just insanely, insanely bad. Even for the Bears. They call them the cardiac Bears for a reason. That is their nickname. Okay? The cardiac Bears. That's what they're known as all over Chicagoland. So, again, congratulations to the Jaguars for playing great. Love it, loved it, loved. I watched the game. It was a great game. Um, what can I tell you? Uh, you think your internet is messing up? Well, that's quite possible. Lord knows I have had my problems here. Um, Looking at my boards here, all of the numbers seem to be right. Looking at the boards I'm looking at, um, maybe you got some intermittent issues going on because I have a lot of them from time to time. That's for sure. Uh, and also I cannot. Let me look at this setting over here because once this is live, I know that is. Yep, I can't change any of that because it's live. Oh well, there that goes. So, and let's see. It says there's an excellent stream going on right now. Okay. So, uh, it looks okay on this end anyway. So far, so good. All right. Enough about the Bears. Enough about how lousy the weather was yesterday and how cold it is today. How did Cleveland? Cleveland. Let's see. If I'm not mistaken, Cleveland won. Cleveland won. At the how they beat Pittsburgh, I have no idea, Charles. Again, see, and that was a pivotal game for Pittsburgh. See, all of these. That's another thing. I'm glad you brought Cleveland up. Another game where it should have been a blowout. Okay, another game. It should have been a blowout, and is a pivotal game for Pittsburgh, not for Cleveland. Cleveland ain't going nowhere. But all of a sudden, you got the win. No, Pittsburgh lost. Pittsburgh did not win. Uh, Pittsburgh lost that game. They should have won. They should have won. Uh, by every metric you would think about, they should have won. But they didn't. Um, Another reason, and a lot of these games have all of these weird things that occur in the game that don't typically occur. Ah, it was driving me nuts, driving me crazy. Anyway, uh, I'm just gonna wing it tonight because, today, yesterday and today was just full of surprises for me. So, and hey, quite frankly, I got through yesterday and today quite well. Today, it was so cold I didn't even go outside today. I haven't. I looked out the front window one time. Oh, I did go outside. I went and got the mail. I went and got the mail, but I didn't. I didn't even go outside today. Other than that, so I got through the couple of days pretty good, and I feel pretty good. But boy, them cardiac bears made me so mad last night. I wanted to walk to Chicago and kick the door in and just start scrapping. But anyway, uh, hey, I'm gonna play a couple of clips right here, um, right quick, just for the heck of it, that I thought was interesting, caught my eye, and uh, it's regarding uh, Pittsburgh lost. Yes, Pittsburgh lost. Yes, they did to Cleveland. I know it sounds amazing. I know that does sound amazing. But yes, they did. And the Eagles won. Yes, the Eagles won. Yes, the Eagles won. Absolutely. And so pretty much it was your typical football Sunday. Kind of strange, but hey, I'm gonna play a couple clips though. I was just cruising around the internet like I always am, and the subject of Christianity and racism kept popping up, and I saw a couple of clips that grabbed my attention, and it kind of puts a checkpoint on some of the some of the some of the stuff that's going on today. You know, the church, the church overall, and when I say the church, I just say overall when you hear announcements coming from the religious sector, it is said to be losing large percentages of people. And there seems to be a correlation with that and racism going hand in hand with Christianity today. Um, and as I was thinking about it, I ran across these two clips. Both of these clips caught my eye, and I'm gonna play the first one. We're gonna listen to what she got to say on the first one, and then I'm gonna play the second one, and you're gonna get an idea of why the first one is so relevant. So check these clips out right quick that I'm getting ready to play, and I'm gonna play one, then talk about it, and play the next one, and go from there. Check it out.
Most dangerous gang in America ain't wearing colors. They're wearing crosses. So every time you call out racism, sexism, xenophobia, homophobia, here come certain folks hiding behind the Bible like it's a bulletproof vest. Well, that's just what I believe. No, baby, that's just what you hate. And you dressed it up in scripture so it doesn't sound nasty coming out of your mouth. See, this is the irony. Christianity at its root is supposed to be about love, compassion, forgiveness. And actually, the loudest ones that call themselves Christians really use the religion as a cover for cruelty. If your religion makes you hate, that's not Christianity. That's evangelical nationalism. That's a cult with a PR team. They weaponize church like it's politics with a pulpit. They tell women their place. They tell immigrants they don't belong. They tell poor people when they're suffering that it's God's will. It's funny how their God's will always protects their power and their pocketbooks. And then they always act shocked when people say that the white church in America has done more harm than good. Because look around, y'all. From slavery to segregation to voter suppression that's still happening today. It's been church pews giving the cover to hate while pastor says, amen. So no, don't confuse that with Christianity. Call it what it is. Evangelical cover for racism, misogyny, and xenophobia. And the wildest part is, they really believe that God co-signs their hate.
Now, that was pretty interesting because when you look at some of the events going on, like that last weekend when that Turning Points USA held the event, they cloaked all of it. They wrapped it all in Christianity. They wrapped it all in a big Christian blanket. Each speaker got on stage, and each speaker spewed nothing but hate, to the point where some of them were literally spewing hate towards the other speakers that either spoke before them or after them. And the entire time, wrapping it in Christianity. And there was one guy that was there speaking, and boy, did he get jumped on after his speech. They tore him up after his speech. Ben Shapiro. And why did Ben Shapiro take a beating? Because he's Jewish. Okay, Ben Shapiro's not a Christian. He's Jewish. And he got up there speaking for Israel. And they ripped him up afterwards. These Christians who wrapped this whole event in Christianity. Erica Kirk. And they literally had Nicki Minaj. I don't know if any of you have heard about it, but Nicki Minaj literally went on stage praising Trump. Nicki Minaj, who Charlie Kirk himself said should never be a role model for anybody. Charlie Kirk said this about Nicki Minaj. She should never be a role model for anybody. And I guarantee you, nobody there could tell you one song or recite one song that Nicki Minaj put out. Okay? And they wrapped it all in Christianity. And here's the killer. Here's the killer. It's not hidden. They're doing this out in the open. Okay? This is not hidden. They don't even try to hide it. Check out this second clip and understand why the first clip was so relevant. Check out this second clip.
You got to be a Klan member to come to our church, and we're a church.
This is Thomas Robb, the Grand Wizard of the KKK, or as he likes to put it, the National Director. See, the Ku Klux Klan is currently going through a rebrand. Instead of calling themselves the KKK, they now call themselves the Knights Party. And Thomas Robb doesn't like to call himself the Grand Wizard. Instead, he's chosen a more subtle PR approach, the National Director.
We don't have a sign, everybody welcome, because everybody's not welcome to our church. There's
something that no one has ever really talked about is the fact that Thomas Robb is not only the Grand Wizard of the KKK, he's also a pastor.
There's a certain element of people that just aren't welcome. The image always showed Jesus Christ with arms outstretched, wide out, like everybody. But the reality is Jesus Christ is not wide arms stretched. His arms are, what he said, the path was straight and narrow.
Right, but wouldn't you say that the path of straight and narrow is welcome to everybody?
Well, we're having to dissect various applications of that statement. But is it open to everybody, like in the broad sense of the word? No.
What I hear is like a person of color, a black man, can they be saved and then be part of the kingdom of God?
What does saved mean?
I mean, if we're going to go off of a traditional theological practice, it is understanding Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. A traditional Christian perspective, that means then you gain access to heaven.
Well, I like the word redeemed.
I asked him if a black man could go to heaven, and this is Thomas Robb deflecting that question for 13 minutes. The reason why I was asking was when I was asking if a black man could be saved, you would just reference that they could just be blessed. So as one...
I just don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, the Bible doesn't, literally, in spite of what people say, the Bible doesn't address black people hardly at all.
So does that mean then, so your belief is the Bible was written by white people to white people?
In modern terms, written by Israelites.
I mean, it's a very generic way of putting it, but yeah.
Written by Israelites to Israel.
So would an Israeli be welcome in your church?
Probably not. And
I want to make sure you picked up on that. His belief actually has nothing to do with how he believes the Bible or who he believes the Bible was written by or written to. It all has to do with the color of their skin. And that, my brothers and sisters, is how deeply racism and Christianity can go.
Now, if you paid that attention, which I hope you did, you will see, this man, now this is the kind of person who is preaching in the pulpit. This is the kind of person, this is just one example, okay? He just thinks he is. He's not a preacher, he just thinks he is. Well, here's the problem with that, Charles. The problem with that is you got this guy all across the land. You got this guy right here all across America. That's the problem. The problem is it goes way back to, let's take it all the way back to slavery. Okay, let's go back to slavery. When they literally wrapped slavery in Christianity, they literally could quote Bible verses that justified having a slave. This is the modern day version of that. This is the 2025, soon to be 2026 version of slavery being justified by Bible verses. And that's the cunning of the evangelical movement in this country, at least in this country. That's the cunning, is that through the use of words and through the use of charisma, they can take Bible verses and get you to believe the Bible condones all manner of stuff. Take Trump, for instance. You have evangelicals across the country, okay, quoting Bible scriptures in endorsement of Donald Trump. This administration has spent the last year ripping everything out that they can rip out that has something to do with helping minorities, helping women, DEI, or any grand poobah. Yeah. Yeah. They are working on the Civil Rights Amendment. They're stripping civil rights out of the governmental structure. The language that the government used to have in contracting with outside contractors. There used to be official language that said you have to have minority employees to get government contracts. That language is gone. They're literally suing companies. If they're going from company to company to company, looking at if they have any kind of DEI practices at all, and trying to sue companies, get companies to settle, and they are actively trying to get white men to file claims at the EEOC for discrimination so they can get a check. They can get paid. They can get compensated from companies that have DEI programs or affirmative action programs. The Supreme Court literally, they went to the Supreme Court and they got an Asian dude. They propped up an Asian guy to sue Harvard and all the elite colleges out east, to sue and claim discrimination just because he couldn't get in. Now, and he wanted to blame it on the fact that they had blacks. They gave blacks points for being, if you were black and you grew up, in an oppressed area, blah, 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 you may have gotten points towards admission. Well, to them, this is wrong. Now, it's okay if you got a rich white dad that donated money and built a wing of the school. It's okay for you to get in based on that. That is called legacy admission. Okay? Legacy admission is okay. But equal rights or diversity or inclusion, that is discrimination. And they sued and the Supreme Court allowed it. Now that's this administration. And they're wrapping that in the Christian blanket. They're wrapping the blanket of Christianity around it nice and neat and quoting all manner of Bible scripture to justify everything that's being done today. That's what they're doing. And it is an active movement across this nation to make racism, to make being a racist a part of being a good Christian. Did you hear that? They are actively making being a racist actually a part of being a good Christian. Hey, just watch one of these programs. Just watch when they put on one of these conventions. It's amazing how much praying they do, how much gospel songs they listen to, and get up there and spit out hate after hate after hate after hate. The first thing they'll say is, I believe in God, and God said to do this. And it's hate from then on. To the point of justifying a guy that's sitting in the Oval Office. A guy that's sitting in the Oval Office that says he's never had to ask God for forgiveness for anything. These are his words. He's never had to ask God for forgiveness for anything. And I tell you what, if you can tell me the last time the dude was in church, let me know. Let me know the last time he was in church. So, that's my rant. That's my rant for right now, anyway. Have you any thoughts? Have you any thoughts on this? If you do, let me hear them now. You know, type them in. I'll wait. I tell you what, I was looking at a lot of this for the last couple of days, especially yesterday when it was raining like this. Uh, um, I myself did a little praying, and I was more thankful than anything else. Because you go through life and you look back at your life, and hey, I gotta tell you, I don't have it that bad when you look at some of the problems other people are going through. And sometimes I have to stop and just say thank you, even during a day that's going pretty lousy. Even when a day is going pretty lousy, a lot of times I can look in that day and say, well, if this is what I call lousy, some of the stuff others are going through, hey, I need to say thank you, if you know what I mean. So I also here in a second, let me find this other one that I thought was interesting. Also, that I saw on here. I saw another clip that was actually funny to me. He probably never asked God for forgiveness because he knew God would have struck would have struck him down, put a lightning bolt on his butt. Hey, Charles, you might be right. You might be right. you know, God might have put that lightning on his ass, huh? Yeah, that could have been. That could have been. Um, but it's the whole, the funny thing. And I used to work with two of these guys, two of these Christians. I used to work with. Some of the stuff that they used to say, some of the stuff that they used to say amazed me. I could ask them a question like back when Trump was first elected and he would do or say something. And I would look at him and I'd say, okay, you're supporting this guy. How do you justify supporting this guy? Do you think this guy is a Christian? And they would literally say, well, I can't say he's not a Christian. You can't say he's not a Christian. You can't say that. Well, if I can't say that this guy is not a Christian, then Christianity is in bad shape. If you want to look at this man and you want to say, oh, he might be a Christian, Christianity is in really bad shape if that's the case. Now, like Charlie Kirk would say, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. See, I can look at that dude and say, no, that's not a Christian. When we're talking Christianity the traditional Christianity, where the parts of the Bible that say you treat everybody with respect. You're supposed to love thy neighbor as thyself. When you're looking at those parts of Christianity, I can pretty much say this guy ain't it. Like I said, prove me wrong. I got another clip I want to show right quick. And it was one, I've run across some really ironic clips these days out there on the internet for all to see. Actual stuff that people are saying and doing. And some of this stuff is so ironic. It leaves you saying, what the hell? Here's a clip from Joe Rogan. Okay? We all know who Joe Rogan is. All right? We all know who Joe Rogan is. At least you should. If you don't know who Joe Rogan is, go on YouTube or any social media, you can find him. This was irony like I couldn't believe. Listen to this clip.
I think it was. I don't. These days, you don't know what's has to be confirmed or not. But it looked like on the Kennedy Center, they started putting the name Trump on it.
Yeah, he added his name to it.
Yeah, it's crazy. And he took out the Kennedy Rose Garden. And you're like, what? Oh, just take it away. Now it's like a cement fucking
nutty.
plot.
There's nothing nuttier than the plaques underneath the president's
That's insane.
names.
That's insane.
Shane and I were just reading them the other day.
It's
We're like,
insane.
How is this real?
It doesn't feel real. And you're just like,
how are you allowed to do that? That's the thing. It's like, how is he allowed to write that?
In the White House, you can just probably, as president, do what you want in the White House.
Turns out you obviously can.
Yeah.
But nobody ever did it before.
Those are going to get taken down.
No, they'll be up forever.
I don't think so.
They're going to leave it like that forever.
No fucking way.
Yeah, like a museum piece.
It's so crazy.
They should have like the Trump wing. This is what happened when he was president.
Look at this fucking lunatic.
The auto pen photo of Joe Biden
and the actual what's written there is crazy.
Crazy.
This is widely considered the worst president of all. Like, what are you talking about?
It should be like a museum.
Yeah.
It should be the facts of his presidency, what happened during his term. The Iraq War started and da-da-da.
Yeah.
It should be that.
Of course.
That's it. If that,
And under Reagan, it's like Reagan liked Trump, and Trump liked him too.
Trump was a fan of Reagan. What?
Why is that relevant?
Reagan was a fan of Trump. What?
It's guys,
nuts,
crazy.
But you can't just let someone just.
That if you know who Joe Rogan is, both of these guys helped Trump win. Listen to two guys who helped Trump win. Okay? Listen at what they're saying about him. How ironic is this that two of the I can't think of the other comedian, because Joe Rogan is the host of that podcast. The other guy's a comedian too, and I can't think of his name right now. These are two people who helped get Trump elected. And listen at how they're talking about it. Oh, you thought he was smart before now, huh? You didn't know he was crazy before now. You thought he would be a good president, better than Kamala Harris. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, you know what? It is a football game on. I'm going to have to get to it in a minute. But you thought this guy was gonna be a great president. You had him on your show. You You talked him up to your audience, and now you're on your show talking about how crazy he is, what a lunatic he is, how he should go down in history as the worst president there ever was. Hello? You didn't know that? I got to tell you. I got to tell you. Oh, my goodness. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. And now all across the land, you got all of these people that helped get him elected, backtracking and want us to say, "Oh, they saw the light." Okay, they saw the light. I guess it just took I thought light traveled at pretty quick speed. It took the light a little while to get to them, huh? It took the light a little while to get there, I take it. Now you got all of these folks out there now disagreeing with shit he's got to say. Oh, it's bad. It's about to get worse after the first. Look here. It is the 29th of December. We got 2 more days in 2025. We got 2 more days in 2025. And it's going to get worse for a lot of people starting on the 1st. Because starting on the 1st, a lot of people are going to be losing their health care. And I tell you what, this is not the time. See, some of y'all may not remember that there was a period of time where a lot of people didn't have health care. And guess what happened when you don't have health care? You go to the emergency room and you go in and you try to get whatever problem going on with you dealt with in the emergency room. So the first thing is about to happen is the emergency rooms are about to get crowded. Guess what? We have a very high rate of flu going around right now. And guess what's also rising? Measles. We got a bunch of children contracting measles. And we got a ton of people getting the flu right now. As a matter of fact, a pretty famous young lady passed away just recently from the flu. So the emergency rooms are going to start getting crowded. There's going to be a lot of hospitals shutting the door. There's going to be a lot of hospitals not admitting emergencies because there'll be no room for them. The 1st of next year, it is going to be on and cracking, as they say. And what's so bad? Here's the funny thing. The largest number of people who are about to lose their health care I looked it up today. The largest number of people who are about to lose their health care are in these states: Florida, Georgia, Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas, North and South Carolina, Tennessee. What do these states all have in common? A, they're all Republican. And B, these states are in the exact same area. They're all in the exact same. Oh, and I left Alabama out. Let's not leave Alabama out. Alabama was there too. They all touch. These states all touch each other. Okay? They're in the same area, and their people are the largest number of people that are about to lose their health care. And they all vote for the Republicans that's stripping it away from them. The irony is crazy. I'm going to play this one last clip another story I thought was crazy. Now, this has nothing to do with anything I've been talking about at this point. I'm done ranting. I'm done ranting about how crazy those folks are. Also, remember that belt that I just mentioned, that group of states, remember, there's something else about those states. Those are the what states? The Christian states. The ones screaming Christianity all over the place. Okay? Let me end that there because, that was just some crazy irony going on with the whole thing. This clip I'm about to play was just a story that was sent to me, and I looked at it and I said, wow. Here's another situation where here's a guy got charges put on him for doing something I would have done. And probably most of you would have done it as well. Check this story out.
Your nieces are walking to school alongside Garces Highway when you get a phone call from them stating that a man had just approached them and tried to lure them into his car. They run into this store asking for help, and when you arrive, you confront the man. But rather than being praised as a hero, you're now facing prison time. I'm Ruby Rivera, your neighborhood. One Delano man.
As anybody would, you get a call from your kids or anything that somebody's trying to hurt them, my first instinct was to protect.
That moment is now landing brand.
They said that those charges do carry 5 years.
Court documents show Santana is accused of assault and battery that caused serious bodily injury on September 10th, 2025. One of the charges includes a special enhancement for personally inflicting great bodily injury. If convicted, Santana could face 5 years in prison. It all took place September 9th of this year on Garces Highway, where his two nieces, ages 11 and 12, were on their way to school. That's when police say 55-year-old Jose Martin, a registered sex offender, approached the girls.
He said that, hey, come here. I'm like, no. And he said, let's ditch school. I said no. And then I said, I got to go on the bus. And he said, I'll take you guys. And I said no. Shortly after, the girls ran into a nearby market and called their mother, who then called her brother. Santana allegedly confronted the suspect and beat him. 12-year-old Angelina tells me not only does she still carry fear about the incident, but now she's scared of losing her uncle. I don't really think he should be facing the charges because he was just trying to protect his family. And I think anyone would basically do the same thing if that was them.
Martin was arrested at his residence the following day and remains in custody without the possibility of parole. Due to his criminal history, Martin faces the possibility of a lengthy prison sentence if convicted. He's also charged with failing to update his sex offender registration as required by law. Learning about his own charges, Santana tells me he was shocked.
I don't think it's fair at all. I do understand that maybe I should have reacted different. I do apologize for the way I reacted, but I feel like that's something that anybody would do.
His sister tells me she believes justice isn't being served, and her brother, a hero in her eyes, shouldn't be treated as the villain, fearing what would have happened if he wasn't there.
I feel like my daughter wouldn't be here. They wouldn't be here at all. That man would have took my daughters, and I wouldn't see them no more.
Santana's case remains under investigation. For 23 ABC News in Delano, I'm Ruby Rivera, your neighborhood reporter.
I would have did the same thing. How do you get charges put on you for protecting your nieces from a child predator, from an actual sexual deviant offender, a guy who literally is a child predator, who hasn't registered like he's supposed to, hasn't done any of the things he's supposed to, and is out there actively seeking victims, and you protect your nieces, or any other family members, and they're going to charge you. They're going to charge you for attacking this monster, this crazy ass bastard. Hey, I'm going to try and follow this case later on because I don't see those charges. And they gave him an enhanced charge on top of it. They literally gave the man an extra charge, an enhanced charge. What prosecutor is this? I see this prosecutor getting some pretty bad hate mail here in the future. Okay. That's incredible. That is absolutely incredible. Really? Really? So the sexual offender was arrested and being held without bond, as he should be. But you charge the man for rescuing his family. James, that's the times we live in. Yes, it is. That's the times we live in. You think they'll throw those charges out? I certainly hope they do. I certainly do hope so. I hope this man or woman, I don't know, this prosecutor, I hope this prosecutor comes to his senses. If nothing else, drop them down. I understand the idea behind the charges where, you ain't supposed to take the law into your own hands. Give me a fucking break. You catch somebody targeting these babies out on the street. You can give up that argument about taking the law into your own hands, okay? But I get it. I get it. Hey, give the man some kind of misdemeanor, something that he can get removed, get expunged later on down the line. Give the man some kind of, some kind of misdemeanor, something. I'm pretty sure the law has the flexibility in this case to do that. And particularly something that can be expunged later on is the key. Because, this guy did what anybody would do. I would have done it. I would have done it without thinking about it. I would have done just like him. I'd like to hope that I did like him and left this person alive. Apparently, he beat him pretty bad. The guy's still in the hospital, so he beat him pretty bad. But he left him alive. Okay, so I'd like to think I may have done that too. So, anyway. So, hey, that's all I got for today. Just thought I'd share that with you. It was shared with me, and I appreciate it being shared with me. That's the times we living in. That's the times we living in. Wow. Anyhow, I'm going to try and keep an eye out on this one and get back to you if I see anything that has changed. As James just said, everybody, y'all stay prayed up. Those of you that pray, pray. Those of you that don't, do whatever it is you do. Okay? I guess I'll go up here and check out this game that I'm missing. I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me again and listening to my rant. I will be back Wednesday. Wednesday is going to be New Year's Eve. Don't know if I'm going out to party or not. I do have an option, you know. I may actually go out that night and have some fun. We'll see. But again, appreciate y'all for hanging out with me. I will be back Wednesday on New Year's Eve to hang out with y'all some more. And I hope y'all have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you then. You all take care. All right? Take it easy.